Welcome to the start of a new anime review series. You think, really? You started another one? You just did that. I've been killing slime for 300 years and maxed out. This is a completely different anime. Now, this anime actually aired this year, unlike the other one aired last year. This is basically the Executioner and Her Way of Life. Anime that started back in April and concluded back in June of this year. So yeah, anime that ended last month. And I am watching the dub. And to my knowledge, there are currently 10 episodes released dubbed. Who knows? Maybe when I get a chance to finish reading book 2, I might get a chance to finish watching my first dubbed. Who knows? The main character series is Minnow. She is pretty much in the way the lead character. She's the Executioner. Now, I've heard one other title for the series that got me piqued my interest. What was called the Executioner and her very hot wife. Yes, seriously. So, Minnow is voiced by Brittany Kowalski. And she actually, believe it or not, this actually is the 29th series I have heard her in. Yes, 29th. The last one being, get this, you're going to love this one. That's how Mega Reincarnates as Slime. Yep, that was the last known official one where I actually, watched her in. And before that was Combatants Will Be Dispatched. Mm-hmm. Which is awesome, the fact that it is like that. Mm-hmm. Yep, so aside from that, here's the thing: the dub was done by JC Sentai Filmworks. I mean, just an HD dub thing. I've watched their website. I won't say what it is. Now, the rest of the dub cast, I'm not all that familiar with them. Not really. These are your characters for these episodes, aside from Manu. You have Akari, who is the isekai woman. Yes, the woman who's isekai. They'll refer to her as a outworlder or a lost one. Yep. So, and she is voiced by Melissa Milano. And I do not know. Okay, I don't. I'm looking up. Let's see what she's been in. Let's see. I'm looking up right now. The stuff I have seen she's been in. I'd say a few. Let's see. The other ones I've seen that she's been in is basically Trinity Seven voicing Ilea, Ozazu from To Love Ru, Izuran Shigeru's Dungeon voicing a couple of minor characters, and that's it. No, seriously, that's it. Yeah, just very few characters. There is also Momo, yes, Momo, a young priestess who is in love with the main character. She's got a massive crush on her, and Manu knows all about it. She does know that her own assistant is in love with her. Oh yeah, and here's the thing: because we're with the series, what's one topic that is very popular for women like Momo? Her chest size. Yep, her chest size. And apparently mentioned by another kid that, oh, Akari's got a big chest. Okay, whatever. And there's roughly a couple other characters pop up here. There is Valaire, who is basically Minnow's teacher. There's Asha, who's a princess. She's the daughter of somebody related to a character series. And a character named is Orville. She's voiced by Sally Colleen Black. And aside from this series, she was also appearing for Zarya Plus Vampire. She's voiced Ainz from Is It Wrong to Girls Dungeon, and of course the spin-off series. And that's it. Yeah, so this is roughly I'd say the fourth series I've heard her in. Yeah, only the fourth, which is shocking. And there's also the character Mitsuki, a guy. Yes, a guy. Who apparently his power is no. He only appears just in the opening episode. It focused on him initially, along with Manu. So basically, he's lured away because basically he's a lost one. They kick him out for unknown reason. He's summoned by the king of the country, who was later actually put on trial for heresy because apparently hero summoning, well, the one the way they do it is actually illegal. Yep, it's against the Faust. Yeah, apparently there are three levels of people. There is the normal people, the noblest, the nobility. Oh, in case you're curious what I hear that sound is, that's actually my mom mowing the lawn. So, and the Faust are simply the higher up. Basically, they're the church. They're basically kind of the best way to describe them is basically the rulers of the world. They're basically the highest authority in the entire planet in this particular world. Mm-hmm. Yep, highest authority, and of course now Oswald. She's the archbishop. She initially appears for the first three episodes as sort of like a hologram. That's the best way to describe basically the experience. So she appears physically in person. Aside appearing a couple times in flashback, it's mostly put in a way just well, her just appearing as an old lady, though there is a reason why. Of course, I'm not going to go into it here. So, after the guy is kicked out of the castle, he just wanders about, basically wondering what to do. And then Minnow just randomly comes across him. That's what it looks like the way it represents the anime, where apparently she comes across him completely at random and basically takes him to church and, well, it mentions she's a priestess. So then he shows up with magical power. It's null magic, which that's interesting. And apparently, when this was a good time for him to be killed by her by being stabbed in the freaking ear with a knife. Yep, killing him. But before he died, he did reveal information about Akari. Yes, by the way, Minnow does not meet Akari until the end of episode 1 of the series, where she basically breaks in the castle to basically break out of a room that she's in. Mm-hmm. As for why she's there, apparently her ability involves healing, and later revealed after Minnow tried to kill her, actually did succeed in killing her. It turns out her power is connected to time itself, which is interesting to say the least. Yep, connected to time. So, yeah, then of course, now Momo herself is seen throughout the episodes, and she's mostly there, and apparently Minnow is the only who interacts with her, along with basically a princess. So toward the end of episode 3, we have the princess herself showing up. Apparently, she's the youngest daughter of the king, who's basically on trial, and she wants to leave the country. She has nothing to do with it at all. She has nothing to do with that. She basically, there's soldiers there, and they just accompany her as her bodyguards. Basically, she just like, you don't accompany me? Fine, I'm having my own cabin. Of course, she's so bored in the cabin. Of course, they're basically their journey is to go straight to the capital, which they get to in episode 4, Gellum, to, according to Minnow, a way to send her back home, but actually it was a way to kill her because it involves the time stuff. And they do kind of explain flashback. I thought Minnow got the way she is, where her hometown was destroyed by some. Oh. I'll be right back. I got to go and lock the door. Sorry about that. Yes. Where was I? Oh, yes. So, They go together by train. Of course, they mention, oh yeah, you want to buy it. And apparently the world is explained where the way it's shown is sort of like like where it's basically up to the 19th century style. Now, they also explain, I was trying to explain this earlier before I got interrupted, that Minnow herself, her town was destroyed by a lost one because of a calamity. Apparently, ever turned to salt, except for her for some reason. Not really explained why she's the only one not turned to salt. She just isn't. And then, of course, she follows Falair around for a bit, and then, of course, she volunteers to become like her, basically becoming her successor. And apparently, she can hold the training a lot better than everybody else. Also, Flair tells her to alter her hair a bit. Basically, alter it the way she is currently, where she shows off her beautiful face. Which, yeah. And then, of course, we're running back. Then, of course, they're trying to get attacked by terrorists. Yes, they describe them as terrorists. And why are they here, per se? It's suggested that they were here to kidnap the princess, despite the fact she's a trained warrior. And she takes out really easily. Akari is told... Now, before going to train, Akari tries to heal a little girl, but she's basically distracted. Of course, they were distracted by the bubbles. Yep. She helped a little girl, and of course, she becomes kind of close friends with her. And very happy to see her off when they arrive at Garm, the capital. And basically that, well, Momo takes care of someone pretty easily. And of course then she battles the princess. Who comments on her appearance, basically, where, oh, you wear clothes that show off your figure. Good job. And she takes it as a compliment. She appreciates that. Yep, and then they continue to fight. Of course, her only weapon is her saw thread that she's had. And she has like few of them. Fights her for a pretty long while until they get knocked off the train and they get exhausted. And meanwhile, though, Minnow basically had to, well, Akari was worried about her thanks to some time traveling stuff. Well, and of course, something really happens to terrorists at the engine, where they start emitting red balls. Yes, this happened in book 2, so don't worry, the anime did not make this up at all. So, yeah, red balls. The prime red stones for these things, and they basically combine to form a red knight, which ends up also damaging the engine, which apparently they mentioned that the engines are powered by magic. Not by coal, by magic. And the engine's damaged, so they have to use a little bit of Akari's magic after they defeat the Red Knight, who apparently the Red Knight gems are formed by having all the terrorists swallow the thing and have the gems swallow them. Yes, and then Akari goes top train with Minnow, because of course she went with her she basically went to the car. Then of course she was able to stop the train, no problem, thanks to her magic. And then they arrive at the town. And of course basically going like a little day, goes to some sightseeing. And she's given an assignment to investigate the mysterious young girls disappearing. And of course Minnow herself is not very happy with this time because basically she promised to do this. So Akari, being angry, decides to just be angry at her, yell at her, and to take a bath. And then, of course, well, Minnow passes time out to Momo, have her handle it. Also, it's to go with terrorist. And then you have Akari come out with nothing but a towel on, where basically that she says, oh yeah, I can go by myself. And of course, Minnow's like, I'll go with you. And she's like, yippee! And then the towel drops right in front of her. And she basically, apparently, has got no problem with the fact of having Minnow see her butt naked that much. And then we cut to the Archbishop where she's talking to Flair. Well, supposedly. And that's the episode. That's the end of episode 4. I gotta say, good start for the series. I like the character so far. I think that the Princess Warrior is actually, and of course she mentioned she's an Imperial Knight. And she's drop dead gorgeous. Yes, love her look that she has in the show, where apparently her look is basically in front of her chest is covered with a shirt that shows off side of her sides, and her back is completely uncovered. Like her pants, and her big sword too. Momo herself, appearance reminds me of the Grasswalker from How Not the Seven Demon Lord, and a few other characters, especially she's a character with pink hair. Minnow, love her look. It's interesting though, this is also the same look I've seen pop up in one other series. Yes, believe it or not, the very same color scheme I did see apparently pop up in My Hero Academia worn by All Might's mentor. Yes, the same exact attire, except the hair color was different. Yes, because All Might's mentor, was a beautiful woman at the time when she was alive, she had raven hair. Minnow is a blonde. Yes, Minnow is a blonde. Akari, I believe, is a raven hair. I believe she is. I think that Flare is a redhead. And she has a comment to her per se, but Flare is a very beautiful woman. Yes. A lot of these women in the series are very beautiful. They're not ugly. They're not basically disfigured. But I like how these characters are basically drawn really well in the series. But it's weird, though, that so far we had one male character and he gets killed off in the opening episode. He's not the starring character. It's the women. Because it's a Yuri series. Of course they would do that. But they're thinking, really? You're doing a Yuri series? Well, at least not talking about a series about two guys. I'm just no interest in it at all. Nope. No interest in it. But this is fine. I have no problem because I like lady. Because basically I like seeing lots of ladies in the anime. Yep. Yeah. So not much else to say. These 4 episodes. Good start for the series. And I'll probably do my other video a little bit later because I got a stream coming up in a couple minutes. So yeah. Review the episodes later. Thanks, you. Bye.